Evening, everyone, and welcome back to yet another live stream. Hope everyone is doing well, of course. But yeah, we're going to be going through the Hartlepool game, of course, previewing that, discussing the Peterborough game. You know, all the stuff, linesman shenanigans, the ref, of course, pretty strapped up side as well, considering everyone being out, COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, if you enjoy, hit the like button. Smash the likes. Let's see if we can get to 40 likes. Of course, if you're watching after the live stream, leave your score predictions for the game as well, and don't forget to hit the like. But yeah, live again with Neil. Going in to discuss the Peterborough game. What was your general the lineup? I mean, there ain't really much to say because that was the only team that we could sort of play, really, wasn't it? So yeah, what was your thoughts on the game and all the officials, other than Mayor and stuff like that, and the general game?
Lineup wise, there's nothing much to say. He picked what he had available to him.
Yeah,
I thought Mangan sort of managed it really well as far as what he had available to him, the way he set him up. A four was what he had to play. I don't think they'd have wanted to play it. They had to play a four, and I think they squeezed the pitch really well. They knew that Hartlepool were Hartlepool. I think that Peterborough were going to be pretty much player for player better than us as far as the levels that they're playing at. So they squeezed the pitch. They played the trap well. I thought the four, and then we got ourselves narrow. We tried to make the pitch as small as we could when they had the ball and try and suffocate them. The only way of holding off people like Dembele and Smodish is to play a high line, and you're running your luck a little bit doing it. But I thought they played well that four. I thought Anderton, the first time bossing a back line, did it well for us considering. I thought we did all right. Really, I thought we were really good without the ball. With the ball, we weren't great. We were a bit sloppy at times, but it was few and far between. We had a pattern of play where we had the ball for a long period. I thought the way we sort of managed it without the ball, Coots again, bossing things from the midfield, getting shape in, getting people narrow, and Anderton doing his bit, belly sweeping up when he had to, when it went through. Thought they did all right as far as what they had to do to keep himself in that game and manage it to try and get somewhere to getting a result. We was never going to go there and breeze past Peterborough, play him off the park and have long spells with the ball. So I thought making the pitch small, narrow, squeezing it up, try and make it uncomfy for him, and then when we did have the ball, try and break quick. Thought he did all right, and I thought it was probably good for people like Luca Hall playing out there against them lot. I was pretty happy with it, to be honest. I mean, the result didn't go its way, but I thought we were well in the game. So when that Norwich loanee come in, that's what changed it. He was frightening, and that's what turned it. As far as we went toe to toe with like Peterborough for probably the last sort of half hour, and when he came on the hour, he just spun it. He was just that little bit extra bit of quality, and we could not live with him.
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? Because that was his. Of course they got him on loan from Norwich. He used to be at Sunderland, but Norwich bought him, and I know a bit about him, but I didn't realise how quick he was. And like you said, I think he changed the game. Like you said, his pace was like, I think second half, like we couldn't. That was the main thing. I thought, of course they still had chances. I thought Belshaw had a really good game. Even like on the, of course, like on the FA Cup like website where they done the highlights, the commentator on that was like, oh, it's a poor mistake, but it was offside anyway. Like even we could see it, everyone could see it. It was miles offside. But Ballymumba, his name was. Yeah, he changed the game and scored. It was, I think Evans give it away. Bit of a sloppy pass, and then he just went past like 4 or 5 of our players. But even into Jack's Ford as well, and to Vaughan saying evening fellas. Of course, get your comments as well. Let us know what you thought of the Peterborough game and if there was any standout performances. But yeah, like you said, I thought Coots. To be fair, Coots, I thought probably I thought he was excellent against Oxford in the other FA Cup game. I thought that was probably his best game he's played for us. I thought he'd done really well in there. I thought he sort of helped things a lot, especially going on to the only one of the only few, and I don't want to keep bringing him up, but you know we got to because he's still playing and he started and played the whole game as well. Is Westbrook? If it weren't for Coots, I thought our midfield would have been pass a lot because again he seemed to do whether it was passable or look for options. He was either too slow or just give the ball away. Even into Tom as well, saying even in lads thought Connolly was mint. Yeah, I thought he was class. We'll get onto him as well. But yeah, what was your thoughts on Westbrook? Again, another performance where it's just so annoying, really. And like you said, the fact of we talked about it before with his will he leave, but probably not, because again his wages are just too much. But what did you make of Westbrook, and if there was any other good performances that stood out apart from Coots and Anderton?
You know my thoughts on Westbrook. I mean, I said at 2:00 when I seen it, I said Coots will be babysitting here for 90 minutes. If he plays 90 minutes, he'll be babysitting Westbrook for 90 minutes, because it's all right saying, oh, you can't play him as a shield, you can't play him in there with a friend. You can't play him anywhere. He hasn't got the attributes to be able to do what we want this side to do. I said from kickoff, he should have put Pablo in there with him. He'd have had legs. He'd have been able to direct him. He'd have been able to sit in there and do the ugly stuff. Westbrook doesn't offer you nothing. Like I said, I bet you in training, he's probably the best player when they do 7v7s. But in a competitive game, be it League 2, League 1, he's a passenger for us. He might go somewhere else and have a really good time of it and a good career. But that don't mean he should stay here. It just hasn't worked for him, and it ain't going to work for him. And getting rid of him is easier said than done, unfortunately. But that don't mean he should play. Pablo should have played Saturday, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Like because when the lineups come out, me and you both said if you was Martinez, you'd be annoyed because of course that new signing Connolly, who we got on loan, of course he played, but he was good, fair enough. But yeah, I don't know because we basically played like a 4-5-1. But like you said, I don't know why, because Martinez, when he played like midfield for us last season, when he come in and got his chance, I thought he was excellent considering he never played league football. And yeah, it's weird. I don't know why he didn't play, but as everyone's seen, Westbrook just hasn't worked out for him at all, really. And like you said, he'll probably, whenever he eventually leaves, because we still got another year left, and I doubt anyone's going to come in for him. So when he eventually leaves, he'll probably go on and do well. But yeah, bit of annoying. Big up to Riley as well in the comments saying, yes, boys, you're both good. Yeah, all good. But yeah, thoughts on Connolly, because like we said, it was so weird. Like me and you was in that pub thing on the boat, and the lineup just come out, and he was like, "Yeah, we signed him. He's gone straight into the team." But I thought he was excellent. What was your thoughts?
Initially, looking at it, it was just a kid come in. He's probably known them lads for a matter of hours. Got thrown into the deep end, and he did really well. He took instruction off of Anderton really well because he was getting coached through it. And as the game went on, he didn't really need to get talked to much more. He sort of knew what was expected of him. He adapted pretty quick. I mean, he looks like he's about 11, but he can defend well. He can defend properly. And when he had the ball at his feet, he was half decent, to be honest. I think he will. He'll have had a week's training with these lads now, and I expect if he does start Saturday, you'll see more of the same.
Yeah, I thought he was very good. Like I said on a quick reaction I did on the other day that he looked really good. And obviously, I know it's early days, but if he can continue to, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because I think Harry's is back this week, because he had whether he's got COVID or other issues, we don't know. But I think it could the 3-game ban got cut down to 2. Because it wasn't like foul play, it was just a normal red. I don't know. They've changed all the the red cards nowadays. What suspensions or games you miss, but I think he'll probably play again. But it'd be interesting to see what happens when everyone's back. Like we've seen Kilgore is back soon apparently, but Barton said that before about players, they'll be back soon and then they're back like a month later. But yeah, he was really good. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Riley says, "Would you like to see James Saturday and Loft?" Yeah, Loft is back. Of course, he was cup tied, but yeah, Loft should be in line to either start because he'll be fit enough. He's played pretty much every game this season, or come off the bench. So it'll be interesting to see. And probably be, I should imagine, it will be the same back five, depending on Harry Anderson, because I think Anderson was either injured or had COVID because he wasn't there. But yeah, it should be interesting. But yeah, hit the like if you haven't already as well, and keep getting your comments in. But yeah, quickly going on to, I'm going to say, obviously we've seen different links, and obviously we've seen different people come out and say, about Nicholson and Evans. What in your mind or your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think it? Because for me, it's a bit weird that Sam Frost and other people have come out and said that they're going to talk after January. But don't you think that's a bit weird, considering like clubs could easily come in and tempt them away? Like, do you think they'll both end up staying, or can you see one of them going, or what?
I can see both situations happening. To be honest, they could either both leave, they could both stay. One could go, one could stay. But it probably does depend on what happens from here until the end of the season. What we look like. I expect Barton's probably got to sell it to him as far as what he's looking to do in the window come the end of the season and what he's looking to do. But like I said to you before, these lads are only on 1 and 2 year deals. They've got to make their money while they can. So, like we was talking about Evans, if Bolton do come knocking, no matter how well we're playing, if Bolton come in, double his pay packet and put him on a 2-3 year deal, regardless of how happy he is, you're going to go and make your money. So I don't think it comes down to just how happy you are, living in the area, how well you've, adapted to your teammates, what Barton's big plans are for next season, that they want to go and, give it a right good go. That's all well and good, but money talks.
Yeah, that's the problem, innit? And like you said, I've seen actually one. I can't remember who it was, but there was some journalist on Twitter saying about because you said that they were linked with Evans, and I hope it doesn't happen. But like you said, it because if he can go up north and earn more money, then they'll probably take it. But fingers crossed, everything can get sorted. And with Nicholson as well, of course. Again, it's been really good for us. I know he's had his injury problems, but when he's on the ball, he always looks dangerous. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And also, I think another one to talk about is Thomas, because he like we all know, he struggled a bit last season. His mental health was bad as well, and he had a bit of a dodgy time. And obviously, Barton called him out after the Salford game. But do you think now that he can push on and properly help us in the second half of the season?
I'm never convinced by Luke Thomas. He flatters to deceive a lot of the time. He has a good game. He never backs it up. But to be fair, Saturday's the best I've seen him probably over the course of how many minutes he played on Saturday. That's the best I've seen of him, really. He had that cameo when he came on with Nicholson and won us a game a few weeks back. But as far as a long stretch of time against a team that are a championship side, fair enough, they're not one of the better ones, but they were a championship side. That's the best I've seen of Luke Thomas. And obviously, he's come out after the game and said his piece and says the penny's dropped and he's going to do this, that, and the other. I'd love to say I'm convinced, but I'm not. But I would play him Saturday. I'll give him the opportunity to say, you've got to back this up now. You can't just have one good game and then go missing for 3 or 4. I would start him Saturday and say that's your opportunity now. You have played well Saturday against a decent side, and go and back it up now against a bang average, League Two side. If you can do it there, and then you'll get a run of games. But I mean, time will tell, especially with Saturday. I wouldn't expect too much from Thomas if he does start Saturday, because I know what he's like. He can flitter in and out. It all depends on if he fancies it or not. And you can clearly see he will be a decent player if he can knuckle down and do what's asked of him. But I'm not convinced he will. I'd love to be proved wrong. I'd love him to be amazing if he starts Saturday and he goes on strength to strength to the end of the season. But I'm just not convinced from what I've seen of him so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Vaughan saying desperately need to hold on to Evans. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, because the thing is, he's even. I know he hasn't played loads and hasn't started loads. Because obviously he was saying, that was his first 90 in quite a long time, or close to 90. But I think he just needs that run of games. He needs to stay fit. Because I thought his work rate especially was good. Because he was sort of playing. Well, he was playing right mid, but there was a lot of times where he had to come back, and him and Hall try and do whoever it was down that side. But it's the only thing that he's had a few games this season where he's been like thrown goal, and he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't take the right opportunity or do the right movement to score. I think there was Newport as well earlier on the home game when he was through on goal, and instead of just shooting, he left it really late, and he had another chance. But you can't fault his work rate, and for me as well, I'd probably because we played like a 5-4-1 on the weekend. But yeah, it all depends really on what formation we go with. But I'd probably start him, but we'll go over that as well. But yeah, going on to a few other points as well. Obviously, talking about games and stuff. Of course, and also transfers. Of course, me personally, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I don't think unless Hargreaves and Westbrook both go, I don't think we're probably going to make another signing now. I think our squad, once everyone gets back fit, I think we've got a very good squad. So, like for me, I can't really see any more. I know there was, I say link. There was that thing about Callum Camps that everyone's seen that he followed our Instagram, but of nothing. There's been no. Do you think we won't make any more, or can you see if we get rid of players that are on the hinges, that we could maybe get someone else, or do you think we're okay with the squad once we're all fit?
You never know with Barton. It all depends on what becomes available and what's offered to him in the window. If he probably thinks his business is there enough done, unless there are some exits. But you never know. Like the Evans one was never on the cards; it just got presented to him, and it was an opportunity he took. And one of them could come around in January where something gets offered to him, and it makes sense. So we'll wait and see. Stuff always gets a bit touchy towards the end of the window, so something might happen in the last 2 or 3 days. But I think you probably are waiting on exits. But again, you say the strength of your squad when they're all back fit. With COVID, you're never going to get a fully fit squad from the start of the season to the end. There's always going to be one or two that aren't fit for whatever reason, and then you chuck COVID in the mix as well. Like I said last week, you've got to play your cards close to your chest with your squad, because you never know how you're going to have to manage them, because you don't know how the backlog's going to kick in.
Yeah, that's true. Like you said, especially within the last sort of month or so, because like you said, this is our first league game since I can't even remember what date it was, like the 12th of December or something crazy like that. The Rochdale game. So it's like you said, we probably won't see a fully fit one, but it'd be nice to have like all the players, or at least majority of the players back fit. But like you said, we don't know with COVID and everything going on. It'd be interesting to see what if there's Collins is back on the weekend, because of course he's been on very good form. Anderson as well, was missing, and a few others. Like, I can't even remember anymore. There's so many players that we've got out, or that's having different issues that we can't really, have any opinions on. Riley says we need one more signing, like a midfielder would be nice. Yeah, even that, it's just getting rid of people. I think now because we have got a few players. Even though Martinez didn't play on the weekend, he can still play there. But we will see what happens over the next couple of weeks or so left in January. So yeah, we pretty much talked about haven't seen any more rumours, but you never know. Rovers, like you said, they could next week, middle of the week, can come out. Oh yeah, someone's left or someone's signed. But yeah, but going on to Hartlepool, of course we was how long it was, a couple of months back now. Of course we played them away when they were doing really well. Their manager was there. Of course now he's left. They signed a few players the other day as well, and they haven't been doing too well, have they? As of late, well, basically since their new manager has come in and their old ones left. I think they were unbeaten at home for a long time, and then as soon as their manager left, they haven't been doing that well. Of course, you went to the away game. What can you sort of, because I don't think it was sort of a 50-50 game where both teams weren't really at a mistake from us. They obviously got the goal. What can you remember of that game?
It was a pretty much a non-event for a long period of it. It was two sides pretty much cancelling each other out. Hartlepool, they're made up of what they are, and they do what they have to do to get a result. To be honest, they made it ugly. They play. I still think what's gone on with Challoner leaving, the guy's come in and he's tried to just keep them ticking over as what they were, and it's not quite happened for him. They're still going to play that flat five across the middle. They'll try and strangle and suffocate us in the middle of the park like they did away. We looked all right up until Leon Clark getting injured because we had an out ball. As soon as Leon Clark went off, we struggled to create anything. We could still be out there now at Hartlepool and we still wouldn't have scored. It was that bad. We just could not open them up. And then I think it was heading towards a 0-0. It had everything about it, a 0-0. And it was at that time when Anderton was, confidence-wise, he was on his ass, and he's had a nightmare of communication with Saunders. He's cut inside. Hughes was on the pitch. That tells you everything. And lads whipped one in the box. As soon as they've gone 1-0 up, they knew they just had to see the game out, and that was ideal for Hartlepool. You give them something to hang on to, they will do, because they fight and scrap for everything. They play that flat five across the middle. They'll try and suffocate the middle of the pitch, and I fully expect them to do the same sort of thing and play with that pattern of play coming to the Mem. And I don't know if that guy who's gone in is going to implement the same way as what Challoner did, but if a Challoner side went to the Mem, I think, and that's how they play. They just try and strangle the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, Tom saying Defoe to the gas. You never know, but I think we've already got enough strikers. Yambi Sim saying, I know we're stacked in midfield, but would you take Camps if I'd take him if he was available and we could get him, because that would definitely strengthen us. But there isn't, like we said, there hasn't really been much since he started following Rovers on Instagram. I don't even been interesting to check if he still is actually. But yeah, I would take him. Of course, I think you would as well, wouldn't you? If all parties and if we could get him.
Financially, the only way that would work is if Westbrook went the other way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Because yeah. So, but yeah, I think if we can get him, if there's option, then yeah. But we'll see what happens. I don't personally. Matt saying I think Rovers deserved at least extra time. Yeah, it was very, very frustrating. Shout out to Gas Harry Vlogs as well. Go and subscribe if you haven't to him already. On his vlog, you can see as well, because he was like right down near the front. I think Sam Frost shared it as well, and loads of other people shared it. And it was, I don't even know what happened. None of the Rovers players pushed anyone or what. Someone said it was the keeper's fault, but the keeper. But yeah, that's what you get. I said it. That's what you get when at this level. even in the Premier League, you'll just get stupid decisions. So no matter what league you're in, you're just going to get poor refs and poor officiating. Riley saying that'd be a great signing. Matt saying I have a soft spot for Hartlepool. Happy they got the win against Blackpool. I believe the last game was the first game where Rovers had I can't remember. But talking about that, like you said, they haven't been doing that well in the league as of late, but they got a very, very good win. I couldn't believe it, really. Well, I could believe it because it's the FA Cup, but that was against Blackpool, pretty much a strong team. I know Blackpool made a few changes, but yeah, so they're coming off the back of a lot of confidence following that. So, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see, how they start and how we can hopefully go up against them and hopefully get back-to-back wins. But of course, we're gonna see. But yeah, I mean, what was your thoughts on that game? Did you see any highlights or anything? I know Blackpool missed a load of chances, but that's still good for them, and they're going to come with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's typical cup tie. I saw the highlights, but they rode their luck a little bit. They missed a fair few chances. Blackpool, and then it's like Hartlepool will be. If you give them something to hang on to, they'll fight tooth and nail to hang on to it. They got their noses in front, and they got themselves. I think they pulled them back level, didn't they? There was 1-0 down. They got themselves level, and then they pushed on, grabbed the winner, and then just fought like dogs to keep hold of it. And that's what Hartlepool will do. If you give them the opportunity to hang on to something, they will do.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Hopefully we can go get the first goal because that's mostly happened this season. When we've got the first, usually hold on to it or at least get a draw. I think whenever I can't remember, of course, apart from the days, I don't think we've done it much since the days of Darryl Clark actually, where we've gone 1-0 down and won. I think this season when we've gone 1-0 down, we've pretty much lost every single one of those games off the top of my head. So I think the first goal is going to be very important. Riley saying I don't think Camps is following Rovers anymore. Yeah, I'll give it a look after, see what then we get. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one. Sorry, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Because of course, since I put the video out, it's been linked to City again now. City, Huddersfield, but I mean, surely no, especially Sunderland. I cannot. But even the journalist, he's not a Sunderland journalist, but he's just a journalist in general. But even he said, I shouldn't think Mark Harris will go. If he'll go anywhere, it'll be in the Championship. No way. I think Sunderland can afford it. They haven't spent much under the new owners, but I think if that squeaky bloke that's in charge of Sunderland, that if he wants him, then maybe. But I can see him going to the Championship. I don't think he'll go to League One. But who knows? I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Where do you think? Because the way even the way we played him, like they don't really play to his strength in the Championship, or whether they played against us just long balling it. Do you think he'll end up leaving, or do you think it's just rumours?
I mean, if someone's going to come in with 6.5 million for him, I expect they'll accept it, to be honest. But
yeah,
because considering what they paid for him, is anyone going to come in for 6.5 for him? Though I can't. I don't know what the asking price would be for Jono, to be honest, or what Peterborough want from him. But if a Championship side comes calling, then I expect he'll take it. League One, it all depends on what Sunderland are doing but I don't think that Johnson will manage him that well. He needs an hard ass to manage him, Jono. He'll walk all over Johnson. He's too much of a fanny for him, to be honest. I think he'll walk all over him. He won't respect him. He won't like the way he asks him to do things. Coughlin had him right. He had him fired up, angry, biting. Johnson he's not made like that. I just don't think he'd want to play for him, to be honest. If they were the only club in for him and the money was the same and You know, he got a big signing-on fee. If it was about the cash, then maybe. But you know, I just don't think he'd want to. He just don't seem like the character who'd go and play for Johnson. It's just he's too soft for him. You know what I mean? Like I said, he plays his best when he's angry and pissed off and snarling, and Coughlin at him like that. Completely different man.
Yes, it's an interesting one. It's just stupid. Like I know he's done, but you know, if you're, it's like if I'm a Sunderland manager, I do not want to be, or any manager, even in the Championship, because he's only got 4 goals this season. I know he's been sort of hot and cold starting and on the bench and stuff like that, but you know, it'd be excellent for us because we'd get, like you said, like between 1 and 1.5 million. But whether he goes for 6, because it's a lot of money to pay for someone that's only basically done it in League One. You know, we'll see. Matt saying credit to the Peterborough on the weekend. Also saying I would have waited for the away coach if Clint Hill was still there. Oh, well, yeah, Hartlepool won it. Yeah, that was interesting. Wasn't it? He Saul Camps down the Bristol Fire the other day. He won't go to Bristol City. He loves us too much. I think he would. If the money's right, he would go. He was only up Rovers for like a year. He's not our Rovers led. I know he'd done Rovers and scoring records was class, but I think he would. If City offered the right money, Peterborough would take it and he would go Bristol City. There was no qualms about it. Like for me personally, but you know, obviously, we talked a bit about Hartlepool. With their form not being that good at the moment, you know, Rovers really, apart from the Rochdale win, we haven't been that good, and of course, we don't know, you know, if there's going to be other news about COVID coming out with players. So, what are you if you was to predict a team, the information that we have now, what would you go with? And of course, in the comments, leave your starting 11s for Hartlepool, and also hit the like button if you haven't already, and do subscribe if you haven't. I know there's quite a few people that do watch but aren't subscribed, so hit the subscribe button and let us know your starting 11s, and then we'll go on to score predictions. Going to be a bit of a show to talk about, and we've gone through quite a lot as well. So yes, what would you do this week?
I've got no idea what's available, to be honest. I don't know who's back as far as the COVID situation. There's not a lot of news coming out regarding injuries. You know, the long ones that more often than not are pretty right, and they're not going to be fit, and the suspensions to go with it. The only thing I would do is I'd switch back to what we do. I'd play the 5, go with the same patterns as what we normally do. And try and kick on from what we did against Rochdale. Really, I mean, at times when we play that 5 and we're on the front foot, we're frightening going forward. We really are. And when we can get in behind another team's midfield, we look like we're going to score it when we go forward. It will. And if Loft can be that guy to, you know, finish off for us, then all the better. I fully expect us to beat Hartlepool, to be honest. I know they had a good win at the weekend, but they'd have had to run damn hard and work damn hard to beat Blackpool. And I expect we'll have players coming back in, whether they'll be fully fit because they've had the rest, or they'll still be coming back partly fit because they've had a bit of COVID and all the rest of it, and they're still struggling. But Coots is getting better and fitter. I thought Connolly started well. I was probably expecting him to start Saturday with Finn on the ground at the back, as far as I'm aware. I don't know what the story is with Harry's as far as the suspension. Is he back now?
I'm pretty sure it was only a 2-game ban. So, the Rochdale game, and then, the Peterborough game. So, match fitness, in it. He hasn't played since the Port Vale game, and you know, to be fair, like his fitness is a bit dodgy anyway, isn't it? So,
but that'll be the same for Josh Grant as well. What he's coming back from, whether you don't know if he's been injured, which he was, and he's had COVID on top of it. You don't know what these lads are coming back from. Doesn't know if they've not got COVID, but they're not up to speed to be fully fit, because if you play them, they could get a niggle from not being fully fit. So trying to predict something is difficult. It's probably going to be similar, but I expect if anyone's defensively is back fit, it'll be Luca Hall that misses out, because we will play a 3. Trevor Clark was excellent Saturday. if he's not picked up anything too bad of what he went off with, I expect him to start Saturday. And I think the game will be one out wide. I know we've talked about the middle and they will try and strangle it, but the game will be one out wide. It'll be whether Clark can get the better of, I think, Sterry plays one side and then Ferguson plays the other on Anderson's side. And I think it's a battle of whose wing backs can push who back furthest, I think. Yeah. Coots will have to do his job in the middle. I mean, if you play Westbrook in there against Hartlepool, he will go missing, completely missing. If Whelan's not back fit, I think you're going to have to play Pablo in there or Grant if they're fit. But he'd be my last pick, Westbrook, to play in the middle of midfield. Against a side like Hartlepool, it will just be a non-event for him completely. And then at the top of the pitch, I'd play Evans again. He was sloppy Saturday on the ball, but again, they had to work so hard off the ball. When they had it, they were probably knackered when they got it a lot of the time and looking for spaces to play the ball into something. It was more hopeful more than anything. Like I said, I'd start Thomas and I'd play Loft up right through the middle because I think I can't remember the name of the lad who plays centre half for Hartlepool. He's about 35. He's an old head, but
Gary Liddell.
Gary Liddell. I'd fancy him up against him if you can get the ball wide. Trevor Clark, Anderson, crosses, or him trying to roll in with balls from either Evans or Thomas. I think that matchup should suit him. And I'd leave Sammy out, to be honest. I thought, Nicholson is a good player, and if we can keep him, we should keep him. But he's a 20-minute man for me. He's a 20-minute man for me, and I think if you're the best you see in Nicholson is when a side's tired and you can introduce him. I think when you start him, you very rarely see a good 90 minutes from him. You see a cameo of him, and he does little bits and pieces, but a lot of the game, he's not there for you. Whereas on Saturday, Thomas, he was live all the time. He was always wanting the ball. He was available, and I think you try and ask him to carry that on, playing alongside Evans off of Loft, and that's how I'd go about it because I think it'd be one out wide.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Of course, this coming here, Barton there probably be 3-4-2-1. I think no matter what, even if Barton was there on, it would have been the same formation. They wouldn't have changed it. They all work in the same group and know what formation they want. So I think it doesn't matter if Barton's there or not. I think he see how bad it is. Hopefully, he's not that bad. Little, saying little wink face because he thinks Ben Liddell, up the Ben Liddell and that. Matt's is saying 3-4-2-1, Belshaw, Harries, Connolly, Anderson, Coots, Whelan, Clark, Nicholson, Evans, Loft. It's like we said, we don't know, like Matt's has put, Whelan, but and Anderson. But we don't know. If it was for me, like you said, Belshaw in goal. Probably. If Harries is fit enough, it'd be that back three: Connolly, Harries, and Anderson. Like you said, if Hall, if Anderson ain't that fit, then play Hall and then Clark. Like you said, I thought apart from that weird little step over or the drag back he done in the left back position on the weekend when he lost the ball. They knew it was excellent, even defending, going forward, he's class. Going forward, he's class as well. BRC Tom saying Grant back on the grass, isn't he? I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. But we'll see. It's obviously like you said, it's a bit dodgy with everyone being out. But yeah, probably for me, midfield is it's tough because, like you said, if we knew that it would be, or even is Finley definitely 3 games for what he done, or because I don't even know.
Well, if it's violent conduct, Finley was only,
it probably is then. So Finley won't be back. It's interesting picking the midfield because, like you said, we don't know who's available. But I don't know. I've got a feeling that Evans might play in a 2 in midfield instead of being. I've got a feeling it'd be like obviously the two wing backs in the middle would be Coots and Evans, but he's wasted there though. That's the problem. I think, even though I don't want it to be, I think if Whelan and that in there, I think it'd be Westbrook again. I've got a feeling it'll be Westbrook, and I don't want to see that, but I think it will be. And then up top probably Evans. I don't know. Do I start Nicholson? I probably, or maybe, depends really. It depends, because then I want to start Loft as well. I want to see him starting against, especially if he's up against Liddell in centre back for them. Yeah, I'll probably just go Evans, Loft, and Nicholson as well. To be honest, probably use Thomas as a bench. Bring off the bench for now, but can prove us all wrong, and hopefully it'd be good for him to get back-to-back starts. To be honest, BRC Tom saying hopefully Anderson is back. Defo doesn't have COVID, so hopefully he was just getting a rest. Yeah, maybe even we don't know. But yeah, he's been out with. Yeah, he definitely doesn't, because he's been out. That's good actually. I forgot, because he was out earlier. I think he was in Bath earlier with his missus. So, and obviously it was his birthday over the weekend. But yeah, getting on to us predictions in the comments as well. Don't forget to smash a like. 23 of you currently in, so I appreciate everyone that tunes in live. I know a lot of people watch it back on the replay, so hit the like as well if you're watching back. But yeah, going with you first, Neil. What are you predicting for the score prediction?
I fancy us pretty strong Saturday at home. We look good. We look good Saturday. Fair enough, it was a completely different sort of performance because we didn't have a lot of the ball, but we were well drilled. We were disciplined in what we did. The pattern of play was clear. You could see what we were trying to do early doors. And I think, although we won't play that way against Hartlepool, we will go for the throat and go after them. It was positive signs Saturday. I expect us to win, 2-0, 3-1. I expect us to really put Hartlepool to bed Saturday.
Yeah, fingers crossed. With me, big up to Longley United saying I play for Bristol Rovers Academy. What a legend. Well, hopefully we've got a Rovers Academy graduate watching the One Rovers vlogs. But yeah, big up to you as well. Appreciate you tuning in like everyone else. Vaughan saying 3-0 Rovers. Yeah, I'd love a clean sheet as well. Quickly going on, I know it doesn't really matter, but if you're saying, I don't know if you're sticking with 2-0 or 3-1, but what do you what's your goal scorers for Rovers?
If Loft starts, you'd like him to get off the mark, wouldn't you? Like I said, if he's going 1-for-1 against Liddell, I expect him to get the better of him. And if he's been doing pretty well at Scunthorpe in a struggling side, I'd be nice to see him get off the mark. I expect him to go straight on pens, to be honest. If he starts, Evans has always got a goal in him. If Thomas starts, if he gets a goal, it could set him off, to be honest, because it's probably what he might need. He played well Saturday. He did everything right, apart from the finishing touch in front of goal, really. But I just think if you don't start him, his head could go west again, and you'd lose him. But yeah, probably if you're going to go 3 individual goal scorers, M3.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, it's that's like you said. I wouldn't. To be fair, like even if it's Nicholson or Thomas or whatever, it would be good to see Thomas though, because I think even into Mitch Breslington as well. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, it'd be nice. He's only got one goal. That was in the Checkatrade Trophy or whatever it's called now, Papa John's rubbish or whatever, against Chelsea. That's his only goal. So it'd be nice for him to get off the mark in the league. Of course, most of his games he's played have been off the bench. And he's got 3 or 4 assists in the league as well. But it would be nice for him to get a goal, because I think that could shoot his confidence right up, which would be, of course, really good. But yeah, don't forget to keep leaving your predictions in the comments as well, everyone that's tuning in. But yeah, I'm going to go 3-1. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think I'm hoping that we can have quite a comfortable game, and at least finish the chances and get a few goals. So yeah, I'll go 3-1 as well. I'll go Sammy, Loft, and Evans to get the goal, and I think Mark Cullen, who's a very good striker at this level, who's in the thumbnail, I think he'll score for them. Bracey Tom saying Lofty brace. Yeah, I'd love a Lofty brace, to be fair. That'd be class on debut. Tom Butler, evening to you. I'm expecting a win on Saturday. It's all very well saying we haven't played for ages and injuries, but we are currently 18th. Yeah, that's true. Mitch is also going with a 3-1 Rovers win. So yeah, a lot of people very confident. It's if we are to sort of be nice. I think we've only got back-to-back wins once this season, I think. So it'd be nice to get back-to-back wins again, league wins. And yeah, sort of, sort of kick on, hopefully, but we'll see. Yeah, Vaughan saying Loft, Coots penalty. Yeah, that was a good penalty, to be fair. It was nice to see him get his first goal as well. Yeah, Loft, Coots, and Nicholson. Mats is also saying 3-1 Rovers. So yeah, a lot of confident people. Let's hope clock that it's going to be like a happy match reaction, hopefully. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in. Of course, thanks to Neil coming on as well. If anyone new wants to come on, then feel free to message me, and I'll get you on next week when we do the preview at 7. Luke saying, keep it the good videos. Do you have the COVID passport to attend the games? Yeah, you can just get it on your phone because you need it for Swindon, don't you? You need a COVID passport for that. But yeah, appreciate the support from you and everyone else. Lineup going to be interesting. Yeah, exactly. We don't really know. Riley saying 3-1 gas. BRC Tom saying cheers, fellas. Other gas. Appreciate the support as always. Pittman to come on and rainbow flick the keeper. Great to see you as well, Vaughan. Appreciate you tuning in as always. But yeah, we're going to end it now. Like I said, hopefully the match reaction is a positive one and we can get the free. And yeah, like I said, if you watch on the replay, then leave your score predictions. Smash the like, everyone tuning in now if you haven't, and people watching back. And finally, score predictions. Sam saying 3-0 Rovers, so clean sheet. But yeah, appreciate it, and we'll be seeing you back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Up the gas.